Hi, I'm Mark Ryan, and tonight, in this sepia-toned evening, I'm going to go through the experiment of using Codex to take some COBOL and generate JavaScript with it. I've done a number of experiments going from COBOL to Python, and they've been fairly mixed. But I've had some better luck with JavaScript, so I'm going to show you an example of taking a non-trivial COBOL program, feeding into Codex, and then generating JavaScript, seeing the output of the JavaScript, output of the COBOL. So let's see what happens. Okay, now we're in the OpenAI playground. Actually, we're in the documentation, but we're going to open up the playground for Codex. And again, we're here. We're going to look at this prompt that shows how to convert from one language to another. It's a little loosey-goosey, and I always have to, when I want to experiment with taking away spaces and moving things around, but I don't think that's the nature of the problem. All right, so this is a fantastic article. I'll link to it in the video, and it covers a whole range of different COBOL examples with explanations. So I highly recommend it. It's great. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a variety of the examples here, and we're going to paste them as is directly into okay, we're going to miss something there. We're going to copy them right into the playground and see what happens. Okay, here we are in Codex, and we have to make the change. We want to go from COBOL, but this time, instead of going to Python, we're going to go to JavaScript. And my experience has been that Python, I think it's because it has the tabbing and the spaces as the delimiters, as it sort of has tabbing and spaces have a semantic import in Python. And I have a feeling that with the combination of COBOL and Python, it tends to mess things up. So what I've found is that JavaScript, either because it's a little bit more forgiving, it's not depending on the semantic import of spaces or tabs, I tend to actually get something useful with JavaScript as the target, starting with COBOL. Pretty well every time. Yeah, I should have had a longer return here. Okay. And we got a JavaScript program. So I have to do a little bit of cleaning up of that. We'll go over to get that cleaned up, and we'll try running that in Node.js. Okay, so what I've done is I've removed the number signs that Codex put at the beginning of the output in JavaScript, and this is the result. So here's what the code looks like. Now, if we try to run it, let's see what happens. So we get valid output. We need to compare that to what the output is for COBOL, but it doesn't look too bad. Okay, here we are in Open COBOL, and what we're going to do is paste in the original COBOL program that we fed into Codex to get the JavaScript that we just ran, and we're going to see what we get when we run this COBOL. So first we compile it, and then we run it. All right, so it looks like we're getting the same for the first, second, third, and fourth variable. We're getting the same results. For a group variable, getting a slightly different formatting, but the same output. So not bad. Looks like we got a non-trivial, a fairly long COBOL program, in fact. Codex generated JavaScript, working JavaScript, and it looks like it is functionally pretty well equivalent to the input COBOL program. Not bad at all. All right, and that's an example of going from a non-trivial COBOL program to JavaScript, thanks to Codex. It did a pretty good job. I'll link in the description of the video to an article that has some more examples of going from COBOL to JavaScript, in fact, a fairly large number. And thanks a lot for watching. I really encourage you to get access to Codex, give it a try. It's pretty remarkable. And thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.